Yeah, hello there, this is Jan, reporting for Gearslutz from the Superbooth in Berlin. And I'm here with Chris from Novation, and he has the Peak polyphonic synthesizer.
I absolutely do. Before I start to talk about this, hello Gearslutz as well. But yeah, here is our Peak. It's our new desktop 8-voice polyphonic synthesizer. And it's digital in parts and analog in parts as well. So it's a hybrid. It's digital where it counts and it's analog where it matters as well. So to explain what we have our oscillator section here. It's a 3-oscillator a synthesizer with 8 voices, so 24 oscillators in total. Now these oscillators are being generated in the digital domain, if you like, but with a difference, a distinct difference. Rather than using DSP and digital analog conversion style DAC conversion,
right.
We're actually going in here with an FPGA, field programmable gate array. Now, if you bear in mind that traditional DACs are going to be at sample rates, standard sample rates, 48 kilohertz, 96 kilohertz, that sort of thing, the FPGA is able to run, well, is running at 24 megahertz. And we're able to use that resolution to provide all the oversampling for generating the oscillators. So, effectively, I mean, I suppose you could say it's got a sample rate of 24 million, cycles a second, which is, unprecedented, really. And what that means is that
not even my dog could hear it.
Not even you. Not the clock speed, certainly, right. Yeah. But what that means is that we get some really, really high resolution waveforms generated. Now, it's there is as close to analog as you could possibly get, essentially, and they sound fantastic.
I noticed that you have different waveforms in it,
yeah.
But also you can play around with using other sounds for oscillators.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we've got here is, in the wave button here, you can see we've got our traditional wave types. Let me just initialize the patch. So we have, sawtooth, of course. We have sine, triangle. And if we go up to the square, if I can get my timing right, there we go. So we've got the traditional ones. The triangle, sawtooth, and square waves are being numerically controlled. So they're digitally produced, but they're numerically controlled oscillators. And the sine wave is actually a wavetable. And also we have extra wavetables here with the more feature. And if I go to more, instead of having our traditional waveform, if I go to my oscillator page here, I can go to oscillator 1. Wave more, which is what we've selected.
Right.
Here's the base station sine. And here's basically in here the wavetable stuff. We've got extra harmonics being added to that sine wave.
Right.
It moves away from being a sine wave very quickly. But let's choose a different one. Let's go for wobbler. You can hear it interpolating the wave shapes as well. And so again, we've got all this sort of digital advantage here.
Yeah.
But then, as we say, digital where it counts, analog where it matters, and then our analog section is here, and that's on the filter. So this is the filter that has heritage across all of the Novation range, right back from the original days of Electronic Dream Pant when Chris Huggett was designing his wasps. The same kind of sort of topology has made its way through the ages into Peak as well.
Right.
It's a filter that you find on Base Station 2.
It's a well-developed...
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds great. A lot of people really love this filter. So, So here we've got our wavetable. Let's LFO the wavetable.
Yeah,
why not?
A bit of motion.
Yeah, get a bit of... There we go. And then we can run that through our filter. Analog filter.
Right.
It's highly resonant, so hold on to your ears. Maybe clipping a bit there, but... So, it's a really resonant filter. In fact, the resonance has been extended on this one from the original Base Station one.
Yeah.
Filter tracking. So we have complete filter tracking. Or no filter tracking as well. Don't know why I was playing while I was doing that, because...
Yeah.
Well, let's get it. You can hear it opening up there, then it's fixed. So, yeah, so the filter is wonderful. And then this section, this is back into digital now, but there is a difference here. These are the effects. So we're using the FPGA to create chorus, delay, and reverb effects, but these are actually running, if you like, in parallel to the analog signal.
Right.
So if I bypass it, this is actually just outputting the true analog signal from the filter. But if I, use the effects, I mean, I guess, you could equate this to like using your, I don't know, DSP-based effects in the studio as well. So you can, just bring them in. But I'm going to talk about the reverb because we've been talking a lot about the reverb, but it is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can pick that up on the microphone.
Just a little bit.
Let's bring in another oscillator. Why the heck not? And that, you could go out and have a bite. That'll be ringing for hours. So yeah.
Nice. Yes, nice.
So that's basically the synth engine, if you like, down here. Oscillators, filter, and effects. We have 3 points of distortion, I should say. These are analog distortions as well. So we have overdrive driving the oscillators into the filter here. And then we have a post-filter drive, which is here. Again, it's true analog. Even though that one's in the menu, that's analog as well. So that's after the filter stage. And then after the VCA stage, we have our distortion here as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
And how does that sound?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's. Well, this has now got the post filter on. So that's pretty nice. Maybe let's take the effects off so you can. So that's the post filter. Let's take that one down. So this is without. Let's put the overdrive on. Which is nice. And then if you want to get really aggressive, well, you could do both, of course, or the distortion post VCAs. And actually, let's do both as well.
That's for Sunday. That's for Sunday mornings.
Or Saturday nights, whichever. Really, yeah, absolutely. So so the effects there are really, really tasty too.
Yeah.
Now
sounds nice.
I think I mean I think it's a wonderful sounding instrument.
Where I'm standing, I can't really say this is a very digital sounding synth.
No, I don't think it is. I mean that's as I said earlier to you, I'd sort of I challenge anybody if you like to tell the real difference between the oscillators that we have here on, in this FPGA realm, if you like, and this new technology that we've worked on, or something like here on the monostation, which is a true, true DCO, it's a true analog oscillator. So it's, it sounds great. And I mean, the fact it's a poly as well. Again, let me just initialize. I'll just show a couple of quick things. So let's get a nice sort of poly.
Go wild.
Well, what I wanted to do was just kind of show you we're generating oscillators in the digital realm with the FPGA.
Right.
And of course that means they're incredibly stable, so there's no sort of tuning issues whatsoever, there's no warming up or anything like that. But if you wanted to add that kind of tuning instability and kind of uncalibrated kind of feel to it, in the oscillator menu, we have a thing here called diverge.
And drift.
And drift as well. So let's put that up an octave. There we go. So let's put the diverge on. And you can hear that straight away. That's kind of, you got the phasing stuff. So here's the off. You can hear now the tuning is slightly out. Yeah? I mean, that's perhaps a bit too extreme, but if we dial that back out.
Oh, it's for listening purpose. So.
And also, we have drift. This is nice. So if we keep an ear on that sound.
Right.
Here it's going out of tune on its own now. It's drifting, like the good old days.
Yes.
So,
like my old 1970s ARP.
Exactly. Oh, which colour? Orange,
it's
grey.
The accent. Yeah. Orange.
Oh, it's the axe.
Yeah.
Okay. I have an orange 2600 and which is nice.
Right.
Anyway, the drift there is useful as well, and and it's funny when you see that on a tuner. It's funny, you see they see the pitch moving on the tuner,
Yeah.
you get a feel for it. So, again, we've got all this extra stuff that we can do to just really make it as warm as we want it to be.
What's this do?
Animate, that's a good question. Well, I'll try and maybe demonstrate that. So here, let's put an LFO on the filter, which, by the way, they run incredibly fast. That's running at 1.6 kilohertz now.
Audio rate, yeah.
Way into the upper audio rate.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fast. So what happens if maybe I want to have a basic sound, but maybe I want to turn that LFO on when I want it to come on. So LFO1 is here normaled, if you like, to the filter. So let's just take it off there now. But I can go to my mod matrix. So we've got a lot of normaled connections on the top panel here, but underneath the hood there's a 16-point mod matrix as well. And again, I can choose my filter. I've got 37 destinations to choose here, but I'll choose the filter frequency.
Is that stored with the patch?
Of course, it's all stored in the patch. It's not a global thing, that's part of the patch. So yeah, when you recall the patch, all your mod matrix is there with you. All the effects are part of the patch as well, which is nice too. Yeah, everything is part of the patch,
Good.
So yeah, but anyway, we've got the destination, is the filter frequency. Let's say I want LFO1, which is basically doing the same as this knob anyway, but this time I want to turn that on and off using an animate switch. So now if I put the depth on, that's on full. So every time I press this button, basically LFO1 is going to control the filter.
Right.
So now we have a nice clean sound and
Nice. Momentary switch.
so it's, or we can hold. So, I mean, that's an extreme example for, for demonstration purposes, but you get the idea, hopefully. You have a preset here. I don't know what this one is. Yeah, there we go. And then I have a variation on that preset, and then a second variation. A bit more noise added there. Or if I hold the two together, a third variation on the preset. So you could say, if you start to activate the animate switches,
That's very
you
nice
have kind
for
of four,
doing live. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, you could have kind of 4 presets for each one, if you like. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what waveforms you've programmed into the more?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. So in the oscillator page, so Wavemore BS sine. Let's just have a listen to those, I guess. So let's get that up. Okay. So
skip through it a little bit.
no, let's go and initialize patch onto more. That is a great button, by the way. Just press that. Everything's initialized. Switch over to more, and now. So this is the base station sine. Now this is actually a wavetable taken from the base station sine. It's a bit of, there's a bit of distortion on there, but if you move through the wavetable stuff there, you can hear that increasing that distortion sound, and then here, again through to another wavetable index there. So that's the base station one.
Right.
Go random, this is always different. So this can be used, but be aware that if you create a patch with the random waveform, I think if you reopen that patch, it'll be a new waveform in there because it's random. So, but again, you can hear the wave shaping there as well. Zing.
A bit harsher.
Yeah, a bit more harsh. Tubey. Quite sort of squarey, I suppose. Square tube sound.
Filter type.
Yeah. Well, there are some on here as well. Here's octaves. This is a good one. Running through the octave ranges. Wobbler. A bit more formancy there, maybe, especially with LFO on this. That's a nice one with LFO. Chords. So there's a lot here. There's 17 different wave shapes.
Right.
And yeah, here we go. Vox Ya.
Yeah.
Again, very formancy, very nasally. And again, if we put LFO on that.
How does that sound with the distortion?
Quite bright.
Yeah. Well, we can filter it a bit.
Let's go after the drive as well.
Yeah. And a bit of reverb.
Yeah, please do. So bring the level up,
Yeah.
maybe the time.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a quick patch to make. If I like it, I can just hit save. We'll call that nearly init patch. Patch 4. I'm going to save to a new bank. Patch C init patch. Yeah. So I mean, again, you can choose where you want to save it. I think it was number 12 is the next available. Give it a category as well, so you've got a category selection process as well.
That's helpful.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Yeah.
It means, and also on the category selection, I'll just quickly show you that. You've actually got users as well. So if you get your favorite patches together, stick them on a user category, then you can always just quickly access those particular patches. There are 2 banks of 128 on here already, and then there's 4 banks in total. So there's lots of space for your patches.
All right. Beautiful synth. Thank you very much for the presentation.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks.